What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, joined by AC on his first Monday Night Football recap of 2017. And also, of course, Dilly Vanilli. We're here to recap the Washington Redskins versus the Kansas City Chiefs. 29 to 20. Not yes. 23. 29 to 20. The Chiefs win it. They're now 4-0, the only undefeated team in the NFL. And Washington is 2-2, technically third in the NFC East. So we're going to go over the game. We're going to talk about the big performances, what happened in the game, what happened at the end of the game, what happened with that Kirk Cousins drive past to Doxson, all that stuff. We'll get into it. And we'll talk about how legit are the Chiefs and the Redskins, and a lot more in this video. But I got to start off with a quick rant, because if you guys didn't know, I bet a fair amount of money on the Washington Redskins to cover this game. They were +7 in this game. So technically it was 27-23 with about 10 seconds left, right? And then Justin Houston returns that freaking fumble to the house. He lost me a bunch of money, and I'm just pissed. I've never bet on any game like that in my life. That was wild. I don't even know what to say. I've been like on social media, texting people, putting GIFs out there. I was laughing for like 10 minutes straight, just like, how in the hell did that happen? Like, I just, like, because when I get really mad, I just start laughing. I don't know why. It's like some Joker shit, but like... Yeah, like I need to punch something. Like, that was ridiculous. And I know some other people that bet on it as well. And that, if you bet on that game, I'm with you, bro. That was terrible. That was a shitty way to lose a bet. But
it was a great way to win a bet, though, if you think about it.
No, screw the people that won the bet. I DM'd Jake. I said, fuck Justin Houston. Yeah, fuck that guy. F the Chiefs. Washington freaking should have won this game regardless. They lost like half their team in the process of losing this game, so that's going to definitely hurt.
But has the Chiefs has kind of owned a lot of owned you and some of your headspace this year a bit, eh? I'm saying this year. Like, let's not talk about the championship. Let's just talk about this year. First, KC.
Yeah, I mean, they beat us, so that they beat the Patriots. So they beat the Patriots, so that obviously hurts. But man, this hurt more, man. Seriously.
2-0 Chiefs against Mitch.
This hurt more, bro.
They're like, screw Mitch. We're gonna mess with the system this year.
No, they're not winning shit though. I'm gonna say that right now. They're not winning shit.
Oh yeah.
I'll stand by that. They're
Double down.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Double down on it.
Okay, but anyways, the Chiefs win 29-20. As I said, the only team undefeated. Let's go through the scoring summary real quick. In the first quarter, Washington went up with a 44-yard touchdown to Terrell Pryor from Kirk Cousins. Basically, it was a deep ball into the back of the end zone. Some people say Pryor pushed off. He may have got away with a slight push there. Wasn't called, and it was on Marcus Peters nonetheless, and Pryor made the play, caught it over him. They scored a touchdown real quick, and Washington looked real good right off the start. Their defense was looking good. They were hitting hard. They were tackling. They were getting after the quarterback. They were stopping Kareem Hunt. And then they score a field goal also in the first quarter to make it 10-0. They then don't score until late in the third quarter because Kansas City comes back in the second quarter with a 17-yard touchdown to Travis Kelce. And then they have an opportunity to kick a field goal near the half, but they miss. Then in the third quarter, rushing touchdown by Alex Smith, which Alex Smith did a lot of running. Both quarterbacks did. We'll talk about that. Ryan Grant with a 3-yard touchdown from Kirk Cousins in the third quarter. And then it was a tie game at 17-17. Kansas City scores a field goal to make it 20-17. And then, so Kansas City makes it 20-17. Washington makes it 20-20. And then Kansas City makes it 23-20 at the very end of the game with a very nice play from Alex Smith down the right sideline where he scrambled outside the pocket and hit a throw. We'll get into the Doxson stuff and all that. And then, of course, the defensive fumble return to make it 29-20. So that's the scoring summary, guys. Do you have anything to talk about in terms of what was this an exciting game for you? You know, did you enjoy watching the game? And was this kind of a shocker that this game was kind of down to the end, or did you expect this sort of game?
I wasn't exactly sure what the Redskins were going to bring. I liked what they were bringing the first 3 weeks. They obviously beat a Redskins team, or excuse me, a Raiders team that's been kind of up and hit or miss. So I was interested to see how they were going to bring it. And the Chiefs, only undefeated team left in football. I wanted to see if they were going to continue that way with good gameplay. And it was a really good game. It's one of the best Monday Night Football games I've seen in a minute, but not exactly in the way I expected it to be. Tyreek Hill didn't have a great game. Kareem Hunt had a good game, but not up to the greatness that was the first 3 games of him. The Redskins just got hurt a lot. That's kind of cost them a lot, but there's a lot of back and forth football. That's stuff I like to see. The drives were, keep going back and forth with field goals and touchdowns and good stops. So I thought this was a pretty good game, but just a close one to lose. It's a hard one to lose if you're the Redskins.
Yeah, I think I guess I'm not a big Redskins fan. They did play really well, and I'm more of a Chiefs fan. And I just think this Chiefs team finds ways to win games regardless of how it is. And also in the third and fourth quarter, they managed to get drives. Yes, only 2 field goals, but those 2 field goals were great because they started their possession early, really far in their own end zone, and then were able to move the ball. They're able to move the ball on third down, on second and long, and we saw it. I think a big run was that Kareem Hunt run on 2nd and 20, picking up like 18, 19 yards, getting them back into field goal range. Kareem Hunt started to run the ball very well near the end, and I do think the Chiefs, in a way, wear teams down. This was really similar, like they play close, and obviously the Redskins, they could have had opportunity. Doxson had the ball. He could have gone down with it, but obviously what they were saying too is Reed was wide open. So why is Cousins going to Doxson when Reed was definitely wide open? I did like what the Redskins have done, but the Redskins haven't proven that they're a clutch team. They've won. They maybe, I guess, against the Rams, yes, but against the Raiders, it was already over. And against the Eagles, they had a possession to win it, and it was a fumble turnover. So we still haven't seen enough consistency from the Rams being a clutch team besides one game.
Okay, so yeah, I predicted it basically. I thought it was going to come down to the last possession. Now, I switched my pick at last second to go with Washington, more because I was betting on them, so I just wanted to cheer for them. So that's why I actually changed my pick, Dylan. So, yeah, I did lose it there, but I would like to say I was pretty accurate in this game because I thought this game was going to be very competitive, which it was. And, I mean, Washington, man, I don't know if this hurts more on the L column or if this hurts more on the IR. I mean, they lost like half their defense. I think they lost like 4 of the DBs, and it wasn't even that they were getting hurt. It was like they were hitting people and then hurting themselves. Like, they're such a physical defense, which is something that I like to see from them. But like, when you're that physical and there's not a lot of practices to prepare for that type of physicality, you get injured very easily. And that's kind of what we saw with the Jim Tom Sula defense, if you remember that guy from the 49ers. But he's actually made this defense a pretty nice unit this season. And it's been fun to watch Washington play, at the very least. I'm unlike AC, I think Washington's legit. They look like they can go to the playoffs and make some noise. I think they're going to be competitive in a lot of games. They were competitive down to the wire in a game where they lost their best defensive player halfway through the game, and they could have won, with that Doxson drop in Kansas City against a team that a lot of people think is the best team in football right now. So to me, Washington is right there with the Eagles for the best in the NFC East and one of the best in the NFC. So yeah, I think Washington's good. And then Kansas City, obviously, they're 4-0. Not much else to be said. Kareem Hunt broke out in the second half, kind of had a rough start, but Alex Smith made some plays, and I do got to credit them for this season so far. Unlike seasons in the past and moments in the past, they have been able to get longer, deeper, bigger plays. And I think part of that's a huge part of that's Kareem Hunt, and a huge part of that's Tyreek Hill. We saw a little bit of it last year because he stretches the defense so much, and this season with Kareem Hunt a little bit more adding into it. But Alex Smith, he's just letting the ball go. We call it the Mahomes effect here on the Bottom Line View. Also, Andy Reid, with some of his play calling near the end of the game, was very ballsy, which you usually don't see from Andy Reid. So I thought that was some good stuff from Kansas City to show me that they are a team that's going to go balls out and they're gonna play. And that's good because that's what I want to see from a team that's considered a contender. So Kansas City did look good, but also I thought Washington looked very good. This was good football. I mean, this was a good game. This was all the way down to the end. And this was an actual game where it wasn't just close because both teams sucked. It was a good game because both teams were good. Yes. Which I've been questioning who's good in this league, right?
Is there any team? I don't know. Yeah, I like the pace of this game. I like the intensity, like you said. A lot of Redskins down, but a good thing for them is they do have a bye week next week. So maybe some of those guys aren't too significantly injured. I know Josh Norman,
I know Norman is out for like 2 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, he had a bad broken ribs injury, so that's
and
sucks.
When he left, I don't think they gave up a point until he left the game.
I think they gave up 3, maybe
3. Yeah, because he was really good in the game. Obviously, he's been really good all year. And I think the biggest thing with him this year is that they're actually moving him around. They're not just playing him on one side of the field to make it very predictable on the offense, but they're moving him around. And he's been that leader of the defense. It's rare that a corner is, but we see in like his basically his wrestling promos after the games how much of a leader he is. But that's going to be a huge loss if he's out for extended time. So teams are going to have to take advantage of that because Kansas City was able to move the ball once he left the game. Let's get into some of the stats.
And just quickly,
Kirk Cousins.
Alex Smith, again, did not throw an interception. He hasn't been turning the ball over, and his completion percentage is up close to like 75, almost 80 some of these games. That's huge for them, him not turning the ball over because, like we said before, when the Eagles played the Chiefs, a couple big turnovers from the Eagles were the turning point in that game. And like you said, that's how the Chiefs win games, right? They don't turn the ball over. They'll have long drives, time of possession, dink and dunk you, and almost lull you to sleep. And then when it comes to the time in the third and fourth quarter, I think they tire defenses out.
Yeah. Personally, I don't love their offense, personally, just the way that they play, because it's kind of really boring to me.
It's
but
not flashy.
It's effective.
No, it's West Coast, but like I think
it's effective. But like I like all the gimmick plays. That's what I don't like.
But
like I don't mind West Coast.
Power move with Kelsey, like when you're third and short, like that's huge, and that's being successful more often than not. So I give credit to it because they're using plays that are working. It's not something.
It's going to be interesting.
See the Eagles use these stupid plays that don't even work, and they're gimmicks, but they don't.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, though, to see like how many of these plays Andy Reid has, because we've already seen so many of these plays like happen and work. So once teams start to study these formations and these plays, is he going to run out of them and defenses are going to keep track, or is he going to continue to evolve with them? Now, Andy Reid's a great offensive mind, and he's kind of evolved his offense this season, and he's done a great job so far. He's arguably coach of the year right now, but like, I don't know, like, is this showing too much of these gimmick plays, or is this just the offense? Like, I don't know. It's questionable. Washington, so Kirk Cousins, 14 for 24, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. Played a good game. I thought he made a lot of plays, including the last play of the game, which was right on the money, but the guy just dropped it. And also led the team in rushing, 7 carries for 38 yards. Did have a fumble. P. Ryan, 6 rushes, 27 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Didn't play a lot. Kelly also got hurt in this game, 7 carries for 23 yards. Thompson, 6 for 23. No touchdowns in this game for him. Vernon Davis, the old man, still kicking. 2 receptions, 89 yards. A very long one where I'm surprised he didn't take it all the way. Pryor, 3 for 70 and a touchdown. Doxson, 2 for 27. Reed, 3 for 21, obviously still banged up. Grant, 2 for 16, 1 touchdown. I don't know if Reed's ever going to be 100% healthy this entire season. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
No.
Is Crowder on that box score at all?
One catch for -7 yards.
He might be like, I think a lot of people drafted him thinking in fantasy. Obviously, this season.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
He's not getting any even targets. I don't even think they're even throwing to him, which is very interesting.
Because he was so good last year, and then this year, like, they're not even using him. Like, they're playing Doxson. Maybe they'll play Doxson less next week, but we'll see.
He has 13 catches for 113 yards this season in 4 games.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
So that sucks. Swearinger, which a lot of people think is up-and-coming safety in this league. 5 tackles, 1 sack. They have Zach Brown, who's one of my favorite guys, 9 tackles. Foster had 6 tackles, assist. Breland had 6 tackles. That's mostly because he can't cover anyone.
Breland was shit tonight. I'm sorry.
He's shit in general. Preston Smith with a sack. Ryan Kerrigan was disruptive, but like he's not. Did he even play in this game?
Kerrigan played.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the stats. I thought I saw him out there. I'm like, I remember him like being in the backfield, but he didn't have a single like tackle or anything in this game.
It says he has 1 tackle in here.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, but it was a combined tackle. Yeah, Gruden kept bringing him up the whole time. This is his 100th game he's started.
Yeah, he was playing good. It's weird. One guy that I thought was really good was I'm now losing his name. Who was the guy that they drafted? Allen. I thought Allen was really good. He was in the backfield for much of the game, run game, especially early on, and then he was like, even in the pass game, he was getting after Alex Smith. I thought one thing for Kansas City, which we'll get to Kansas City stats right now, and then we could talk about it in general. Kansas City's offensive line suffered a little bit in this game with protection. I thought Alex Smith did a good job of moving around and kind of making his own time, which he's usually good at. But like Eric Fisher was banged up, and you could tell, and Mitch Morse didn't play. One of their guards got hurt, so that's becoming a problem for Kansas City. But they were able to run the ball, which kind of supplemented that. Alex Smith, 27 for 37, 293 yards and a touchdown, sacked 4 times, like I said. Kareem Hunt, 21 rushes, 101 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. Another great game. The guy is the best running back in the NFL right now, clearly. He made a bunch of plays where he was breaking a bunch of tackles. Alex Smith, 7 rushes, 56 yards and a touchdown, and then a couple other rushes. Travis Kelce had a good game, 7 catches, 111 yards and a touchdown. Still don't like him, though.
Your favorite player. What are you talking about?
Albert Wilson, 4 catches, 63 catching Kelce, fag. All right, 4 catches, 63 yards, 5 catches, 35 yards. West, 5 catches, 33 yards. Conley, 2 catches, 31 yards. And Kareem Hunt, 4 catches, 20 yards. Okay, defensively, no sacks. Weird for Kansas City. But they played their typical game, you know. They forced Washington to go the length of the field. And then, you know, they'll give up yards, but they don't give up a lot of touchdowns. That's exactly what happened. There was some big plays that was rare against them, like that Vernon Davis one, like the prior one. Marcus Peters didn't have his best game in this one. He let up 2 touchdowns, but they still had an effective game. And this was without Dee Ford, so that's worthy of mentioning. And, of course, Eric Berry. So I think they did a good job of adapting against a pretty good offense. But usually at home, they're a little bit better. And we saw that, and the thing that is a little concerning is that they still let up those yards when they needed to stop them. I know that they stopped them in general with not letting the touchdown up, but you could argue that the guy just should have caught the ball. But yeah, so it's a little bit of nitpicking, but I thought both defenses
you're saying
played good.
But the Chiefs actually, that defense improved a lot. If you look at statistically what they were giving up, an average of 440, and in that game, I think it was just over 300, barely.
Yeah, because Kansas City's defense hasn't been great this season. So
well, but they're bend not don't break. But if you even looking at Cousins' stats, he had 85 or 90 yards or I think over 100 yards in 2 throws.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Washington's offense has been great though. It's only really been good in 1 game.
It's been Cousins, I think this team totally relies on Cousins, and what can you do when you throw a perfect pass and a guy drops it? But I think that's what the team is built around. They don't have,
and their offensive line is pretty good. I'll give them
that. But like they can't find a running back. Perrine's not the guy. Rob Kelly is, I don't think the guy, and I think Thompson should be playing pretty much like 70% of the snaps, and they're not doing that. Which brings me to one of my points is that Jay Gruden's not that great of a coach.
I think he's okay. I just don't think he's like great.
But like, what has he ever done to be like even okay? Because there's some coaches that you don't like that
he has his moments.
He shines in certain games in certain ways, but I
think he's decent offensively typically, but
and to validate that point, if you take away the 69-yard catch and the 44-yard catch from Terrell and Vernon Davis, Cousins has 107 passing yards tonight.
Yeah, well, and he would have 10 completions too. Anyway.
Yeah, I thought that they struggled with separation in this game. Like Jordan Reed wasn't getting any separation. I mean,
he's
Pryor only a couple plays, but Crowder didn't even play.
It's baffling. Like, why is Crowder not getting
Josh Doxson was supposed to have this amazing matchup versus Terrence Mitchell, who's been one of the worst corners in the NFL so far this season, and he couldn't do anything.
And he dropped.
That has to tell you something. So yeah, a lot of it was Kirk Cousins extending the play or making a very nice throw to make his guy open, or like just running in general. So yeah, Kirk Cousins played good. Alex Smith played good. I thought both defenses had a good game. Washington kind of wore down, but do you guys have anything to add to that?
I think they played, these teams played a solid game. It was more of not like a flashy game, but more of a typical football. Let's get the first down. Let's focus on getting that on second or third down, not getting big plays. I know the Redskins had 2 very big plays that helped them with 2 touchdowns, but it was mostly that's what the Chiefs play. They play that kind of game. That's what Reed's style is, and it was kind of a fun game. It was more refreshing to see, and it wasn't like a high scoring game, but it was back and forth, and that's what I like to see. So, 2 teams that have some ups and downs. Redskins go into a bye, so that might help them. And the Chiefs, who do they play next week? I want to see who they play next week.
Don't they play like the Steelers or something like that?
They play the Texans on Sunday Night Football.
Oh yeah, okay, the Texans. So that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a banger. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Okay. Do we have any comments?
We do have some comments. Let's pull it up here. First, we have Chris. He's a DC fan. He says, devastating loss. However, bye week comes at a perfect time. 2-2 proved officially we can beat close to any team in the league if whole game is put together.
I agree with that.
I would mostly agree with that.
That's exactly what I said.
The NFL team, look at the teams that we have right now. Not a lot of teams are very successful. I would say probably 5 teams you could put up there as the best in the game. And
I don't even know if you could narrow it down to 5.
But the thing is, if most teams put their complete game together, they'd have a chance against anyone.
Well, they had a pretty complete game. They just should have caught that one pass. And I thought
there was some defensive stops they could have made in the third and fourth quarters. And that's all they needed. They needed one. They needed one, and they didn't get one.
Personally, I would attribute that to them wearing down with injuries. But
that's football.
I know it happens, but it's rough for Kansas City.
That seems like an excuse rather than I'm just saying, like injuries happen. You gotta still find a way. Next man up.
Next man.
Yeah, but is this the Redskins or is this the 2016 Patriots?
I don't. What 2016? That's 2017.
Defense City. I love that. I love the Patriots defense.
Or is this the 2014 or the 2004 or the 2003 or the 2000?
Wait. Is it 128? Was it 128 points given up?
I think you should keep on living off that because you'll never. I'm sorry.
I can't name an Eagles team. It doesn't come to mind.
Well, no, but we're not talking about the Eagles.
Maybe the 95 Cowboys.
Okay. Remember what happened in the game today and you lost all your money? Remember that? And I won?
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, bro. I'm never betting on your stinking
That was good for me.
I love these arguments. I have nothing to do with it. And I got a shout out from the Cowboys. There you go. Tyler Jones says, I thought Hunt had a good game. Sid Henry, Mitch, you can answer this. When's the Raw review? Oh, Kev has decided.
It's up in like 10 minutes, bro. Calm down.
I will not be on it. Pants, okay? I will not be on it. But Kev has decided to join us. Kev.
Oh, Dylan's not on it at all?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't watch the show. Kev.
Oh, good for you, man. I wouldn't have either.
I felt good for myself.
Kev, give us your quick thoughts about Redskins Chiefs. I hope you didn't lose $200 as well.
I did not lose $200 because I did not bet. So I am now 0-4 in fantasy because, Chris Thompson. So
I feel so bad. I do.
That is. That's bad. But I don't think the Redskins are clutch. I think that's the big problem. I think you put them in situations where they can compete. They seem not clutch.
Yeah. I said the exact same thing, Kev.
And it's too bad because it was exciting. It was a really good game.
Are the Redskins okay? I want a question. These are two separate questions. Is Kirk Cousins clutch?
No.
Yeah, he's part of I agree.
Okay. Well, you also said, AC, that he is the offense. So
he is the offense.
You could take that one or two ways.
But he's not clutch because they're still the Redskins haven't done enough. Last season was a nice indication. I really like what they did, but I like their offense more with Deshaun and Garcon, like I've said multiple times.
I think their defense is a lot better, though.
Their defense is a lot better, but I still think they miss Garcon more than anyone that they could add because Garcon was the third down guy. He could run any type of route. He had great hands. And Deshaun stretched the field. That's all he did. And obviously, we're not seeing Deshaun do that great with the Bucks, but that's just because Jameis doesn't know how to get him the ball. But I just think Cousins going through the offseason he had, and all of a sudden you're getting these new pieces. Yeah, they're nice and shiny and they look great.
Hey, shit. Deshaun might have 400 yards on Thursday. We don't know what's going
on. Deshaun will go
hopefully not.
He better go off.
He might.
We need fantasy points, baby.
Because the Patriots might just leave him open. I mean,
I'm putting it out there. Deshaun Jackson,
like
175 yards.
Eight guys were covering one player.
He's going to be the deep threat. He's going to be that deep threat you guys talked about in preseason.
There was a thing on ESPN that they were saying this could be not the worst Patriots defense of all time, but it's on pace for the worst defense of all time. All time.
You can take my ranks because the 2013 Cowboys have that rank, I believe, and they were pretty shit.
I think it was one of these Saints teams, but
Cowboys were shit on defense 4 years ago. Fucking Rob Ryan as our defensive coordinator.
All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the Redskins Chiefs recap. I hope you didn't lose your money like me, but it was a fun recap. It was a fun game to watch, and we'll see you tomorrow for our weekly recap with myself and Billy Vanilli. Also, NHL content and NBA content coming very soon.
What? Huh?
Raw. Tune in a Raw review. The priest and the preacher and all those people will be there. Peace.